I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to our first guest, Pete. Very excited to have this guy on. The really neat tie-in is we're going to talk about Hobie Worlds. We're going to talk about the Hobie Worlds of Sweden. But the great tie-in is that this guy qualified for this event through the Ike Foundation event right here in New Jersey. It's a great story, and we want to talk to him right now. Joining us live via Skype, Nicholas Weedle. Joining us. Nicholas, am I saying your name right or am I butchering it?
That's Waddell.
Waddell. Okay, I'm sorry. I butcher everybody's name, even my own. Thanks for joining us tonight, man. We appreciate having you on.
Good to be here.
Let's start. I want to get right into it, man. Sweden, big, amazing adventure. For a lot of us, a trip of a lifetime. Hobie Worlds, I was fortunate I got to be at the last Hobie Worlds when it was in Louisiana. Give us your impression. A lot of people watching that don't know anything about Hobie Worlds, let alone a trip to Sweden. What was it like? What was the experience like?
I'll be honest, Ike, it was amazing. Steve Fields, he put an event together that was one of the few chances I've had to enjoy competition from around the world and experience a unique culture where, I mean, everything is available to you. And I got to fish for some epic, pike. I mean, you don't get to catch them every day, especially where I travel to. And the opportunity to hook into, 100 centimeter, a 3 foot long fish that can, absolutely tear through your gear is an exciting experience. And to be able to do this repeatedly day after day, and to catch fish. I mean, in the States here, you're lucky to catch one or two, maybe 3 in a day. And over there, you have guys that are hooking into 10, 15 fish a day.
Wow.
It's an incredible fishery over there.
It sounds amazing over there. Now do you have an 8-hour day like we do in a typical tournament where you have to get this done, or how many hours do you have at it?
So what we did was we started at around 7 a.m. and we finished at 2 or 3 p.m. each day.
Okay.
So that way you had plenty of time to catch your fish, but not enough time to really understand the species. I mean, like, I wasn't one of the only ones that had never really caught a pike before. So, and we had, I believe it was 2 days of pre-fishing. So it was a very tough fishery to learn in just a few hours each day.
So did you go pike fishing early? Did you try to? They seem like they're the most challenging that they would be to catch. Seem like you would have to spend most of your time hunting pike, right?
Yeah, and then the thing is that the way the format was set up was total inches overall each day. And if you couldn't get your pike, oh man, you're down at the bottom instantly. But if you couldn't get your perch, then all of a sudden, that's what it was. Everything was in centimeters, so inches. I mean, you're down almost 20 inches each day, and that's the difference.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing. Now, I can tell you, and Pete, we talked about this last year when I was at the prior Hobie Worlds in Louisiana. It's such a cool environment, and the best way I can describe it. And Nick, I want you talking a little bit about this, but in a bass tournament, in BASS Elites or FLW, there's this rivalry, and I don't want to say it's hatred, but you don't trust anybody, and everybody's out to get everybody else, and it's all about the money, it's all about the points, it's all about the win, it's all about the publicity. And when I was at Hobie Worlds in Louisiana, it was this most amazing bond that I felt between guys that didn't know each other, right? Guys from Sweden, Mexico, Italy, United States, Canada, all over the world, this common bond that was kayak fishing. And you never felt that animosity between the teams. Was that true at this one in Sweden? Was it that same feeling?
Yes, the camaraderie is there. The trust, well, we're all fishermen. So, if you can get away with the biggest lie you can for the day, oh, where are you catching your fish? Oh, I was catching it right here. The person you tell, they're like, are they lying? Are they telling the truth?
Right.
That's the crapshoot. But overall, the feeling was, hey, we're here to help each other. And on the last day, one of the really cool experiences of the tournament was, I wasn't there for it, but I got to hear the story, was the guy that was in first place, the guy from Germany, he was just wailing on the pike. I mean, he was just one after another. And a couple of the other guys are struggling nearby, and he's like, listen, I got to go catch my perch, but here's the lures that I'm using. And he gave them to the other two fishermen. So and you just don't hear about that in other kind of tournaments. You know, here's my best bait. You know, that just doesn't exist.
Yeah. Dave's not going to be giving you any of his bass lures at the next Ike Foundation.
hey, Nicky.
Yeah, that didn't happen between Lambert and Randy Haynes, I don't think, either.
Hey, Nick, it's Dave. Do you remember our interaction last year at all, by any chance?
I'm struggling.
All right, well, I'm going to help you.
Help me out, I'll probably remember.
I'm going to refresh you. The night of the meeting, first I'm going to say congratulations on everything. Even though you stole my opportunity to be talking about this right now. You blasted me. You hold me. You took me out. I'm good. Good. Whatever. Listen.
You blasted all of us.
You are a gentleman. I'm going to tell you what. The night at the meeting on the battleship, right? So for people that don't know who fished this event, we have a pre-tournament meeting on the battleship where we're issued our identification bracelets. So when you take a picture of your fish on the Hobie board, you know, it's a unique bracelet to that tournament that's only released the night before the tournament. You actually coached me up on the iTournament Angler app. Remember talking to a guy that was like half lit?
Yes. Yeah.
That was me.
All right.
Half lit.
He remembers
big,
now.
Big giant blockhead. You couldn't miss him.
Now, we also had another interaction. I spent most of my day on Cooper. When I finally rushed to Newton, I was the guy like racing through the reeds and through the lily pads launching my kayak when you were over by that cement dock. And you were throwing a little frog. That was me. Do you remember that, dude?
Yes.
Well,
did you catch any fish?
Elaborate, maybe?
Don't tell him, Nick.
Anyway, good job. You were a gentleman. Congratulations. You got a great smile. I'm glad you were the guy that went there, except for me. And, I understand this year I got my own boat now. It's going to be a whole different story. You're not going to be running over me like you did last year. All right?
Dave's been practicing. You got to. He had a whole year to sulk in his misery about not winning on his home
turf. I don't compete to lose. I was ready to go right home.
I know. There's a rumor. I want to talk a little about this. Is that for the Ike Foundation event, you ended up staying in your van, and you didn't realize, but you were staying in the heart of Camden, New Jersey, which at one time was the murder capital of the United States.
City in the United States.
Yeah. In fact, Dave was a police officer in Camden for many years and saw some terrible stuff there. Dave, do you believe Nick was sleeping in his van in Camden? What do you think about this?
Where were you sleeping at in Camden?
So, unfortunately, there I did not sleep in the van, but I slept in a rough neighborhood. And I was more, and the thing is, I didn't want to put my kayak on top of the car, so I put it in the car. So I basically left everything wide open.
Wow.
But luckily, nothing was stolen.
The good thing
probably was in Cherry Hill.
When I found out that Camden was the highest murder rate, I was like, wow, everyone seems so nice. I go, what's the deal? They go, you're nice, we're nice. If you're not nice, there's a whole lot of acreage you can disappear into. And I was like, okay, I will be on my best behavior.
I want to call you the plate on what is the favorite species. Give me a couple. Because you mentioned a few there that are on my bucket list, like a GT, big GT. Man, I cannot wait to get my hands on one of them eventually. But give me your top 2 or 3 favorite species you've caught.
All right, favorite species to catch. One is, you guys have actually heard of it. It's probably called a queen snapper. I believe you guys, it's a little bit down south, further than you down in Florida.
Yeah.
For me, that is my specialty species. That's what I really love to catch. Catch them from 700 to 1,200 feet down.
Wow.
And it's necessarily the fight. It's the challenge of finding the fish and finding the fish that want to bite. It's a very finesse fishing at 1,200 feet.
Yeah.
But as far as the fight goes, dogtooth tuna, top of the list. I mean, when those things hit, it's a freight train, and they've got teeth, they've got attitude, and they will run you straight to the bottom and break you off every time.
Wow.
And then probably another species on the top of the list as far as variety goes, I would have to say mahi.
Mahi, yes.
Just, I mean, people think that you have to have this 30-pound setup, 80-pound line, all this hardcore, offshore 40-foot boat gear.
Yeah.
And in reality, the bass setups that everybody uses, I mean, shoot, you can throw a spinnerbait, you can throw a crankbait, you can throw a fluke.
Yeah.
And you've got a fish that's, up to, 80 pounds, jumping in the air, flipping, spinning. It has, 30, 40 different colors on it at the same time.
Yeah, they're cool fish.
It's also great to eat.
Hell
So
yeah, they are.
those are my top two.
Now, where did the 2-pound Newton Creek bass fall in your list?
Honestly, so I had a gear malfunction. My net fell apart. I won't say who it was made by, but when I hooked it, and oh man, talk about a rush, because I know that the bass there aren't 6, 7, 8 pounds like you'd find in Florida or somewhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, if you catch a 20-inch bass, an 18-inch bass,
It's a
they're
giant.
at the top of the list.
That's a giant. Yeah.
Yeah, and so when that fish hit, I mean, shoot, I'm almost shaking thinking about it now. It was the adrenaline rush of, please let these hooks hold. And when I finally got that fish in my hand, it was just like, it was a huge relief. And to realize that I was actually possibly a contender to go somewhere special was just an amazing feeling.
That's cool. Dave had a very similar story that same tournament when he was over at Cooper River. He was fishing near the dam over by Cooper, and he hooked into and almost lost, but finally landed a giant 12-inch ribbed condom. And he was so excited. I think, Dave, didn't you say you kissed it?
No,
and
yeah.
then measured it, kissed it, and then rubbed it, or what? What happened?
I made a halo out of it.
Oh, a halo!
What are you talking about?
Man.
It was a Magnum Trojan, wasn't it?
Why aren't we celebrating Nick's hair? Look at that beautiful crop of hair, dude.
I haven't seen hair like that since Byron Velvick was around.
I know,
on the scene.
man. That's like newscaster hair, dude.
Here, I was thinking about getting a haircut for this, but I'm glad I left it alone now.
That's an amazing quaff. Eric, the intern who called out sick tonight, he'd be reeling in jealousy right now.
Yeah. He'd be jealous. Nick, let me tell you, first of all, man, congratulations on winning the event last year. Congratulations on going to Hobie Worlds. Can't wait to see you here in a month or so. Excited to have you back. Definitely will be more of a challenge this year, but I got a good feeling you'll do all right again. I have a good feeling.
Is it going to be a crowded field this year?
It's going to be a more crowded field. I think we've probably tripled the size of the field from last year. But it's a lot of water, right? Newton Creek, Cooper River. When you talk about from dam to dam at Cooper River, it's a lot of water. So more strategy is going to be needed this year for sure.
And what won? A 2-pound bass one?
No, a bigger one. Yeah, you had a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did you have, Nick? It was probably a 4-pounder or so, right? Pound wise? I know it was inches, but probably a 4-pounder.
What, was one fish?
No, 3
Length,
fish.
total length.
3 fish.
3 fish.
3 fish, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, you got me on that one. I honestly, I don't remember.
I know you had a big
I
one.
want to be Nick. He don't remember shit. He don't remember me. He don't remember the big fish he caught. That's how good his life
had
is,
around
dude.
like
A lot of
48
big
inches.
fish.
48
40 inch out of 3. Yeah,
That sounds right.
yeah, 48 inches, which
Okay.
is a nice bag.
Wow.
It's a good bag.
Yeah, that's strong.
Charles, remember what you caught. That's how good Nick's life is, dude.
No, I just remember seeing him catch that last one. I just remember seeing him catch that last one in a spot I just fished, and I was like, son of a...
Dude, I pulled in last second, panicking. He was just cool as shit. Just like, yeah, man, I'm just riding around this frog and throwing it around. I'm like, what? Like,
Why you keep outing him on the frog that he was using?
That was a decoy, Dave. He didn't catch any
No.
no, that son bitch was throwing I'm going to put you out there right now, Nick. He was throwing a little ass weird looking frog around dude. On a spinning rod.
Yeah, with a broken leg. It had a broken
On a
leg.
spinning rod. See, I put you. You know, I know. Now stop. Act like you don't know me.
That's great. There goes the camaraderie.
Yeah, there goes the camaraderie. Well, Dave's going to have 5 HDS 12s rigged on his kayak trying to compete with you this year. So I don't know if that's going to help him. Well, Nick, I appreciate you coming on. We will see you in a month or so, and good luck, man. Good luck in all your travels. I hope you get that that big fluke, big striper. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Very excited.
Yeah. And if I could just give a quick shout out to Three Bells Marina for putting up with my fishing, and to Steve Fields for putting on the Hobie Worlds, and Keaton Eoff for running Hobie America, because
Yeah.
those guys are really running the show.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Appreciate it, Nick. Have a good night, man. Thanks for coming on.
Good luck. We'll see you
Thank you.
in a month.
See you soon, Nick.
Later, Nick.
Oh yeah, I'll be there.
Awesome. Thanks.